Tampa Bay Buccaneers are Super Bowl 55 champions, and most importantly, Tom Brady got his 7th ring. Mariah, Janos, and Evan Lazar here. Evan, I just want to get your overall thoughts on the game because heading into it, we really thought the Chiefs were going to win, not by a large margin of victory, but we thought, they'd be that second half team that they've proved to be all season, and they just weren't.
Yeah, that's a really good way of putting it. We picked the Chiefs. I will stand by the fact that I picked the Chiefs. I'm not going to say I picked the Bucs now. I did pick Kansas City, and I think what we saw are two things. One, I'll get into some of the game plan specific wrinkles that Tampa Bay threw at Kansas City. This was a true Bill Belichick-like game for Tampa Bay, where they said, we do all of this type of stuff. This is our bread and butter. We're actually going to do the total opposite and throw something completely different at the Chiefs, and it really worked. But more so, like as a big picture topic, I think that we saw the importance of play on the line of scrimmage, especially the offensive line of Kansas City. They played multiple backups. I get that. But having no Eric Fisher at left tackle, forcing them to move Mike Remmers over there and starting a backup right tackle played huge dividends in this game. And Patrick Mahomes was running for his life. There's some crazy stat out there that he ran for over 450 yards on scrambles, just trying to stay away from the pressure the entire game. I mean, the ball was snapped. The pressure was in his face immediately, and Patrick Mahomes was back there like a chicken with his head cut off, trying to find a way just to get the ball down the field against that Tampa Bay secondary. So a perfect example, I would say, of why line play is so important in the NFL. And oftentimes I go on Twitter and I do draft threads of left tackle prospects and guards and stuff like that. And everybody's like, that's the least of the Patriots' worries. Well, line play in general and depth on the offensive line can hurt even the best of offenses. You have Patrick Mahomes, Tyreek Hill, Travis Kelce, all those weapons in Kansas City with one of the best quarterbacks in the league, and it didn't matter because they couldn't block anybody. And that's such a great microcosm of what football is ultimately all about, which is decided in the trenches more times than not.
Yeah, absolutely. The Bucs defense was no joke last night. Patriots Press Pass is brought to you by Manscaped. Get 20% off and free shipping using the code PressPass20 at manscaped.com. That's 20% off with free shipping at manscaped.com using the code PressPass20. Take the leap and join the Manscaped movement today. So we just talked about the Chiefs and what went wrong there. Now let's look at the Bucs offense. Sir Tom Brady, our favorite up here, just getting his 7th ring. I had a feeling it was going to happen at some point. I really did not expect it to happen this season, but now that it has, what does this speak for about his legacy?
Well, I think what this is the final kind of frontier for Brady. Is not only did he win a Super Bowl with a different team without Bill Belichick, but he also won a Super Bowl as basically a de facto offensive coordinator. And you could really feel the fact that in this game specifically, he had gone up against Chiefs defensive coordinator Steve Spagnuolo in the Super Bowl in the past, in the Giants Super Bowl, the first Giants Super Bowl in 2007. And that was a game where the Patriots dropped Brady back to pass, I think over 50 times in that game, and really tried to throw it down the field, similarly to what Tampa Bay likes to do all year long. And this game, only 4 Brady throws of 20-plus yards. He had a 2.25 time to throw in the pocket. So this was a get the ball out of Tom's hands quickly, 42% of the passes on play action. This was not a Bruce Arians game plan. This was not Bruce Arians' playbook. This was Tom Brady going vintage Patriots, saying, I know that Spagnuolo is going to come after me. I know he's going to try to get pressure up the middle. So I'm just going to get the ball out of my hands and not let him affect me that way. And the Bucs went, like I said, with the defensive side of the ball is really true too. They didn't blitz a whole lot like they normally do. But on the offensive side of the ball, they said, we are not going to beat this Kansas City Chiefs defense by dropping back 7-step drop, trying to having Tom throw it 45 yards down the field. We have to get the ball quickly out of his hands and into the hands of our playmakers. And they did that all night long. They used Gronkowski, obviously, in the middle of the field, who has just been a Chiefs killer for his entire career. So really a very game plan specific plan from the Tampa Bay offense. And it just screamed that I just know that Tom Brady had a lot to do with what they were calling out there on Sunday night.
Yeah, absolutely. It's funny because going into it, we assumed it was going to be a shootout, balls flying everywhere, and it was literally the complete opposite. They relied heavily on the run game, and it was fun to see. It was a really fun game to watch. It was great to see Gronk get involved a lot more, probably the most we've seen this season, honestly. For all of our Patriots coverage, head to clnsmedia.com and subscribe to our YouTube channel over at Patriots Press Pass.